Hey everyone, it's Momentary Flux. Welcome back to Factorio. We're now up to version 17.40. Apparently that there was some, I'll just read this to you. You can interpret this however you like. Improved efficiency of noise, program compilation, and quality of error messages. So that was the change that was made between 0.39 and 0.40. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but there it is. Anyway, back to it here. We're working towards getting our rocket launched. It's been a couple days since I last played. I've been playing on some other stuff, so I'm going to try to remember here what I was doing. I do know that we were working towards the rocket. We got the silo technology in the works here. We're making the parts, I believe, now. So we're making rocket fuel, which I was just standing up by the rocket fuel. Let's see here. Low density structures and rocket control units. So we'll just go for a little tour here and try to. It'll become apparent what needs to be done. So we get the rocket fuel. It's so weird. This is I have 3 simultaneous games of Factorio going, and keeping track of what is where in my head is just, yeah, it's I have no idea anymore. I just have to look around and refresh myself. Okay, here are the rocket or the low density structures. We have a spare chest there collecting those so that we make sure to keep those being built no matter what. So those are used in technology, and they're going to also be used in the rocket. So I guess the other thing would be the rocket control units. So I feel like I probably put them up here by the train station. So let's go take a look. Yeah, it's funny too because my other 2 games that I'm playing, which hopefully you guys will get to see pretty soon, the bases are much sort of bigger in general. A little bit of different designs. I've sort of learned from my mistakes, if you will. Okay, here's the rocket control units. So those are building up. Looks like they're all going. I think I had one more here that looks like I didn't get the assembler in order and working. So we've got that working now. Yeah, everything looks good. We're just basically waiting for that technology. So let's go back and look at the science labs and see if they are running full blast. One thing that is nice about this this playthrough, however, is we do have nuclear power, and I mean that's such a huge leap in capability. You basically go from like just struggling to stay afloat with power to just having basically as much as you want. The nuclear power is just such a huge boost. I'm still an advocate of having like some intermediate step, which I think would be really useful. I know a lot of mods do that, but just in the vanilla game, there's nothing like in between steam basically and nuclear. It seems like such a huge jump. A lot of mods have oil burners and the like, which makes sense, or some intermediate power that has, like burning natural gas. Like just think about like what we as a society really do, and we're not using steam power per se. I mean, we might be using steam turbines, but they're powered by natural gas or whatever. There's like intermediate. They're not just using coal boilers. Anyhow, looks like we're running all 10 science labs, so it's just a matter of time to get that rocket silo. And it won't be long. It will not be long. So there's one other thing I have to build, which is a satellite. I suppose I could start getting the stuff together for that. Let's see here. Sat. Oh man, holy moly. So it looks like we're going to need another 2,000 technology in order to get the satellite tech. So that's going to take a while as well. Well, what can we do in the meantime? I suppose we just, I mean, we're running full blast, so we can't really, I mean, there's no sense in making any kind of improvement to the underlying structures that are going to get this working. How long, what is it? This one's 1,000. And what are we at? We're at 58%. I guess we could add a couple more labs since we're running full blast. Let's do that real quick. We'll just add 2 more. Don't want to go like crazy, but there's room here. I can add 2 more. I've got the artillery. I could take a look around for some enemies too, see if there's anybody really close that needs to be dealt with. Alright, well that big power pole's in the way. I can just move that, I think, just right here. Then I'll have room for the science labs. There we go. That'll help a little bit. Maybe not a ton, but a little bit. Now we have a cool dozen. Science labs, fully loaded, completely going to town. I can't really do much more than that. I mean, I guess I could put speed modules in them, speed them up, but I think this is pretty good. I mean, keeping 12 science labs running is pretty impressive, actually. This is a really solid factory, you know, given the size of it. I wouldn't call this a big factory. I wouldn't call it a small factory. I would call it maybe just sort of like a maybe like a medium to low size factory, I guess. Yeah, the series I'm working on, I'm not sure if I'm going to narrate it or not, but it's a death world. But I got a lucky draw on where I started. I was basically on an island with just barely a connection, so that the aliens don't really have a way to get at me. It's pretty interesting, or at least not right away. Until I start expanding out, that is. So, it looks like we're running full on with the oil processing. Everything's running really well. I think this factory, the one nice thing about this factory is it's really well balanced. I mean, after we had all that power trouble, everything is running really nicely. It seems like we're making just about the right amount of everything. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Might be able to use a few more engines, but they are backing up over here. Alright, well, I'm a bit of a loss as what to do here, because all I'm doing is basically waiting. So let's just go up here and take a look at the resources. Yeah, I would like to invite any comments. Now that I've had my chance to go through the vanilla game and sort of see what I've been missing, see what's new. I mean, there's been so much new. I mean, they didn't even have oil tankers when I played last, so this has been pretty good. I feel like I've got a grip on it now. But if you guys have any comments about something I could do better, that would be interesting. I would like to hear. I could put that to work in some of my other games. Yeah, I definitely have developed some new strategies in the other games. I'm building bigger. The more I play, the bigger I'm starting to build. At least I'm creating bigger frameworks, mainly so that I can have less of this sort of what do they call robot mall, less of a robot mall and more of a conveyor belt factory. At least to a point. I mean, at some point, things are a little bit they get out of order, and things start requiring things that are not on the bus. So you end up doing a little bit more robot stuff, but maybe not as much as I'm doing here. I do like these sort of omni unloaders, but in some of the other games I've played, I'm trying it with just having dedicated unloading stations for iron ore, for copper ore, uranium, some of the basics, and maybe just limit these omni unloaders to stone, some of the more rare materials. I think with something like Bob's Mods or Angel's Ores, this becomes pretty critical, just because, I mean, how many train stops would you need with 10 types of ores or whatever, and oil, and having to transport sulfuric acid to mine uranium, etc., etc. So, yeah, like we're doing down here with the sulfuric acid. So yeah, I'm just, now that we're kind of end game here, just waiting on the technologies, we're basically good to go. Just thinking about what I've done here and ways to improve it. It's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. Like I said, I would like to see less of this, more of the bus and the factory. But doing the excuse me, doing the bus and the factory just requires a little bit more a more pre-planning, which I didn't really do for this factory. Like making the iron and the copper floor wide, making lots of room for different materials in the bus. So that kind of stuff is stuff that I've learned I'm going to be implementing in the future. Everything else, like the way the things are built, the designs, I feel are pretty good, but there could be slight improvements. We'll see how things work out. So anyway, like I was saying, the plan is that I have a Death World series. I'm not sure really if I'm going to narrate it or not. I have some ideas for that. That's going to be something a little bit different. And I also have a space exploration with various AAI mods. I can't remember off the top of my head what they stand for. I think it's Advanced Artificial Intelligence mods. I'm still seeing where that one goes, but basically the ones that I'm going to do are going to be sped up to 4 times speed, so that some of the drudgery of laying stuff down is quicker, and it's a little bit more exciting to watch. I think it's a little more, there's constant action because everything is sped up. It's fun to watch, definitely. It would be cool to add that tilt shift. I think it's called tilt shift effect to it that makes everything looks like a little model, or a little I don't know. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll understand what I'm saying. It'd be kind of cool to watch it in 4X with the tilt shift effect, but I'm not sure how to do that in the editor, so we'll just have to stick with the basics for now. Alright, well, the rocket's almost done. We're just kind of running around the factory, just looking it over here, not really doing much. I'm feeling like what I might do is I might just let the factory just run until till the rocket silo. Let's see, we're 84%. Till the rocket silo gets built, and then come back. Okay, I'm back. We're fast forwarded here about maybe 10 minutes. Waited for the rocket technology to finish. So now that the rocket technology is finished, I can get over and build a silo. So let's get a silo started. The rocket silo is going to need a lot of materials. So let's get a request chest here. I think I'm just going to put it right here. And let's look at the materials that we need for the silo. I also started the space science technology. So we need 1,000 steel. So let's put that in there. Okay, we got 1,000 steel coming. We need 200 processing units. Bump that up to 200. Oop, not to go to 300. All right, 200 electric engines. Let's type it in so we don't overshoot. Okay, 200 electric engines. And then 100 pipes and 1,000 concrete. There's the pipes. And then concrete. One more 0. There we are. Hopefully I didn't overshoot too much on the blue cards. We'll see. Yeah, I accidentally slid it up to 300, and once you do that, it's like it sends out the signal and gets them on their way. Sometimes there's a few extra, but they're pretty accurate. They're pretty accurate. So once we get 1,000 concrete, I can change the box type so that it doesn't request anything more, and then put it into an assembler and have the assembler make it for us. Let's get that ready. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is the 1,000 concrete. So as soon as that hits 100, there it goes. We can take the steel chest, stick it there, get a stack inserter, feed it into here, set this to a rocket silo, and it will start loading up. And then when it's all loaded, it will make us a rocket silo. And I think we're just going to put the rocket silo right here, right in the middle of the base, right in the middle of where we used to have our smelting and stuff. Now it's nice and clean and free. Yeah, I think if I were to continue this particular series and base, I would probably just scrap this entire thing and start a new bus that was much wider, maybe like from all the way over here to from the steel line. It would probably end up being about this wide, all that distance. So it'd have 4 lines for copper, 4 lines for iron, 2 lines are for steel, maybe even 4 for steel. Steel seems much more important than it used to be. A couple lines for the green cards, a couple lines for the red cards, and so on and so forth. So that way we'd be able to make a lot more of this stuff via conveyor belt instead of from the bots, which basically it's kind of a power issue, and it's also sort of an aesthetic issue. I mean, it's just more fun to build with the conveyor belts, I think. I mean, I'm not some sort of purist, but it's definitely a little bit more fun. It's a little more fun because you're making a design rather than just putting down requester chests, you know. Yeah, this is going to take a while. I think I can help this along, actually. Like if I take all the steel and just dump it in there. Take all the blue cards, dump those in there. Take all of these. Dump those in there. And the pipes. Where are you, pipes? Oops, did we not? Yeah, no. There we go. Alright, so it's making our silo. And, you know, our technology is actually cruising along pretty well. Although 2000, we're 17%. Now, when I just got to this section of the video, that had just started. So it's actually clipping along pretty well. But it's still going to take quite a while for that to finish. And then we also have to make a satellite. I suppose one of the things I could do is I could look at what's required for the satellite. So 100 processing unit, 100 low density structures. Let's get that going. So 100 processing units, 100 low density structures. I think those are over here. There's 100 of those. 50 rocket fuel, 100 solar. So 50 rocket fuel, 100 of each kind of solar. So the accumulators, 2. And what else was the 5 radars? I think I can just make 5 radars. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're making them up there in the mall, but I could just make 5. I don't have to request them. Alright, there is our rocket silo. So let's put that down here. Let's bracket it with some substations so I can remove this ugly power. Let's just do a little rearranging. Actually, let's do these on the sides, I think. So we don't have that ugly line down the center of our beautiful rocket silo. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to start feeding in the materials. Which are rocket control, low density structure, and rocket fuel. So rocket control units. I'm not really remembering where there must be over here. Yeah, okay, rocket control units. Let's boost that to 100. Low density structures, let's boost that to 100. And what was the final one? Oh yeah, rocket fuel. Of course we need rocket fuel. So let's copy that. So we have 2 of those. Let's put some stack inserters. And we'll get the rocket being built here. Now some productivity modules might help here. Speed modules won't help because it's a matter of, you know, just once these get in there, it's just a matter of boosting this up. I'm not sure though if productivity modules, are those efficiency modules or productivity? Those are efficiency modules. We need productivity modules. So what if I just start making a few of those? And they sure take a lot of resources. I wonder, am I building those? Go take a look. I think we're building level 3 speed modules, but I'm not sure about the productivity modules. Let's go find out. Try not to get run over. Well, I got the level 1s here. because that's part of the purple science. But I don't think I'm making any of the level 3s. So maybe I'll just handcraft those while we wait. I mean, it's not even all that vital. It's just something I can be doing. Long term, if you were going to launch a lot of rockets, I think that you'd want to fill that with productivity modules. You probably would want to put a ton of beacons around it too. And the reason I say that is because each time this fills up with materials, it does a percentage of the rocket. So we need to fill this up, what, 100 times with these items. But the productivity modules would allow you to get away with using less of these. I'm not sure how much less, but it feels like in the end it would probably end up being like, well, I guess it depends on the productivity modules, right? Let's take a look. So this gives, each one of these gives 10% productivity. The speed is completely unimportant. So if you had 4 of them, it should give you 40%. You would require 40% less materials for each rocket. So it makes sense to me. And that's just with the productivity modules in here. Now, if we added beacons all around it, we could probably get that down to, I think there's a minimum or a maximum productivity that you can do. Like, I don't know. Can you go over 100%? I'm not really sure. Do we have the beacon technology? Let's find out. Beacon technologies. The effect transmissions, I think is what it's called. But if we were to surround each one of our silos with productivity beacons, we could reach some maximum anyway. I mean, depending on the beacons, depending on how many modules, all level 3 modules, etc., where it would take drastically less materials for each rocket. So if you're gonna, if you're gonna go on and you're gonna launch lots of rockets, that would probably be the strategy, or that would be the strategy that I would pursue. If you guys know a better strategy, let me know. So what is our holdup here? It looks like the low density structures are the holdup. So maybe we should go increase the capacity of those. And those are down here. Now I tried to build a buffer of some of these. Looks like it's actually plastic, not so much the structures themselves. And we're completely full. Completely full here. So maybe a couple more chem factories. Actually, I have a bunch already made. What's a good way we could do this? I think I kind of basically just need to continue what I was doing here. So let's just add 2 more. Just sort of help things along. Alright, so if we do that, and then just connect them through here. Yeah, since we're not really completely filling this belt up, I don't think it's really important to get them, make sure they're on the double side. Let's see how that looks once these clear out a little bit. Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Let's see here. If I split it here, that would be halfway, right? So let's see here. What if I went like... like this? What was I thinking? we're trying to make it so that, here we go. Nope, wrong side. Okay, so if I have this one coming down and I just run it into here like so, now we got it double-sided. And so in theory that should be even, so we wouldn't need this anymore. It's kind of ugly, but it works. So these are coming to the bottom. These are all being pushed on top. So it should be balanced. It should be even. We got 3 on each side. Okay. Well, that's going to help a little bit, but I'm not sure how much, to be honest. Yeah, it looks like it's... It looks like the plastic's making a little bit further down the line now. That's good. All the way to... Yeah, it's actually filling up. It's getting all of those low-density structures running. It's just a matter of time, basically. Alright. Let's go take a look at our rocket and see how far along we are. I know it's not very far. Probably like, what, 5% maybe? We are cruising along in the science, so we're a third done with the space science. So we're getting there. Getting there. And I think I have some productivity modules. Do I? I can make another. I can get another one queued up. But I've almost got enough to put the one level 3 in there, which will start to help. And we'll get a little snowballing going on. So 7%, actually, that's pretty good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue making these productivity modules until I have 4 of them that I can put in here. And just waiting for the rocket to charge up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut here. And I'll be back with you as soon as the rocket's up, or as soon as the science is up. So see you in a minute. Okay, it's been some time and I am back. The space science technology has been researched and we're sitting at 97% on the rocket. So what I need to do now is I need to make the payload for the rocket, which is the satellite. If I can find it. Here it is. All right, let's get that being made. Drop that in there. And then I have removed the low density structures from the requests because we're sitting at 3%. The science technology actually took longer than the rocket. So I didn't want to miss out on the rocket emerging from the silo. So as soon as the satellite's made, we'll add in the low density structures. I'm just doing random text here. I'll add in the low density structures. The rocket will emerge. We will put the satellite in it, and we will launch the rocket, thus concluding this series. I am excited. I'm looking forward to the future, to new stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing this thing launch. So let's see here. We got a satellite, or do we? We are one low density structure short. Go grab it real quick. Actually, can I make one? I can just make one. I will make one low density structure. I think that's the last thing that we needed. Just that. And we'll get this thing launched. Yeah, I want to say a big thank you to everyone for sticking with the series. If you made it this far, you're awesome. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of the new subscribers, the comments, the thumbs ups, everything. It's been fun. It's been fun to come back. It's been a couple of years since I've done it. So I'm very pleased to sort of be back in the swing of things. Let's add low density structures back into the boxes here. And we will watch this last 3% We're almost full on our productivity. I've added in all 4 productivity modules, and that indeed, every time this yellow bar fills up, it gives you an extra %. So we're about to get 1 extra % here. As soon as the robots deliver this, we are going to be good to go. All right, here they come. We're getting attacked. Not too worried about that anymore. We're at 98%, 99% from the yellow. And so we have 1 final bit here. And here it comes. And there it is. The rocket emerging in a triangular symmetry. And it's up. It's ready for inventory. Let us put in our satellite. Let us zoom out. And here we go. Launch. Behold. The momentary flux heavy. There we go. The game has finished. Time played 26 hours. A decent amount of time, particularly just to get to the first satellite launch. Anyway, it was a good run. And at this point, I say thank you and goodbye until the next series. Really appreciate everything. Take it easy.